Welcome to Lund University and the libraries at Lund University. My name is Anja Hoppe and I'm a librarian at the Libraries of the Joint Faculties of Humanities and Theology.
And my name is Wiberg and I work at the Library of Faculty of Law and I'm a librarian as well.
As a student at Lund University, you have access to a network of 26 libraries. The University Libraries library holds everything ever printed in Sweden, and they are also in charge of our shared systems. And the other 25 libraries are connected to the faculties and institutes and provide literature and services connected to the subjects taught there. They are often situated close to the faculties, and they are librarians specialized on their subjects. If you enter the websites for the different libraries, you will find more information about the services and also contact information about your library. We are close to 200 people working in the network, and we give services both to the students and employees at the university and also to the public at large. And if we would combine our collections, all the 26 libraries, we will be one of the largest and oldest university library in Sweden. You can find the 26 libraries on our general library homepage, lub.lu.se. I will show you this page. And by the way, the chat is open. And if you have any questions, just write there and we will answer them later. So let's have a look at lub.lu.se. There you go. Here, if you click on our libraries, you will find a list with all the 26 libraries. And there's also information about where they are and how you can call them. And if you click at the link, the name, you will have access to their own websites. And there's also a site with all opening hours for the libraries. I'll stop sharing now. There's also some general information about our services and systems on lub.lu.se. And also links to the catalogs.
One of the first things you should do is really to get access to your course literature. And that could be both in print or ebooks. I think that all of the libraries have course literature, and you will find them in the faculty library where you are studying. If the book is in print or ebook, you will find the books in the system Lub Search. We will soon show you how to search in Lub Search. Because both the digital and the printed collection is actually searchable in Lub Search. If your book is only available in print, you should be aware of that there are different rules between all the libraries. So check out what kind of rules do they have, what kind of books can you bring with you, what do you need to read in the library, for how long can you keep them, are there overdue fees, and so on. The most common rule is that you can keep the course book for 14 days, and then you need to return it if someone's in line. If no one's in line, then there will be an automatic renewal, and you can keep it for another 2 weeks. If you're late with a book, there will be an overdue fee of 10 Swedish crowns for each day and each book. For the moment, there's no overdue fee because of the situation, but it will be returned during autumn. So please be aware of what the rules are and what happens with the overdue fee. Some of you might not have any course literature. You might have other kinds of assignments where you're supposed to write something and so on, and you need to find relevant information instead. And then you need, of course, to search for information. Then again, you can use the systems to search. And you can also take use of the subject librarians, which you can find in the different libraries. They many times collect sources, databases, journals, other relevant links and so on in subject guides that you can find on the home pages of the faculty libraries. Another thing that is important for you to do in the start as well is to get an LU card. The LU card you can use for plenty of things. I'm sure you've heard about it already. But the LU card is possible for you to print, copy, enter doors, but it's also a library card for you. To make it a library card, you need to register your LU card to the library catalog, LUBCAT, which we soon will going to show you a search in as well, and where to register to make it a library card.
Yep, yes. So let's have a look at LUBCAT, the catalog Anna was talking about. No. I will share my screen again so you can see. Here you go. This is LUBCAT, and we can start showing you where to click when you want to register a new account. It's right here on the right side. You just click there and log in with your student account. And once you have logged in once, you will appear in our systems. So let's look at how to search. Let's say we want to get hold of a book about doing literature reviews, and a guy named Chris Hart has written it. So we are searching for, it helps if you spell it right, literature reviews Hart. And there, the second edition appears. And if you look further down, there's a table, or there are two tables actually, available in shelf and queue for checked out items. So all the items you can't get hold of because someone else has bought them are listed in the table below, and all that are in one of our libraries are listed in the table above. In this case, the Asia library has 3 on the course book shelf, and one of them can't be taken out. It says reference only in the note field. Then there's one in the biology library on the shelf called method, and then Sambi, the social sciences library, has 6, and one of them can't be taken out either. And the shelf there is also the course book shelf. So go into LUBCAT, look up your books, and find out which library and shelf they are situated on, and then you can go to the library and find them. And if you don't know where the shelves are, just ask the librarian who's there. If there aren't any books available on shelf, there will be a little button like here above, queue for all items. If you click there and are logged in or do log in, then you can queue, and you can also choose which library to pick the book up. Yes, that was LUBCAT, so I stopped sharing.
And then we will actually go over to the next system, LUBSearch, where we're going to do another search. And that is the search portal where you can search for the digital and the printed collection, which means that what Anja just showed you how to search in LUBCAT, you can actually search for in LUBSearch as well. So that is the search portal with everything sort of. But you should be aware of that there are some databases that you don't search when you search in LUBSearch. Some databases that can't be included by many different reasons. So if the teachers tell you to cover everything up, then you really should check out if there are any other important databases that you should use as well, I think. You can always ask the librarians about this as well.
So I'm sharing the screen now, so
Thank you.
you can see what Anna's doing.
Yes. And here is then the start page of Loop Search. And as you can see, there is a general search in the middle. And I'm going to use it very soon. I just want to tell you a little about the search field, because this field you will search in within the title, keyword, author, abstract, and so on, but you will not search in the full text of the articles, of the ebooks, and so on. So if you'd like to search in the full text, then you need to use the search options, which you can find here. And there you can mark down in the bottom, you can say also search within the full text. You can also use the advanced search and choose the field text, and then you search in the full text. But I will not include the full text for this search here. I think the general search takes you quite far. So using this first here, I will just fill in something that we might look for. I write, sorry, lost an H there. Research methodology. We'll search, and if you are searching for something like a phrase, then I really recommend to use quotation marks, because this will bring you lots of matches. But we'll start with research methodology. And when I do so, sorry again, I lost an, I was surprised that I didn't receive that many matches. Still received 200, but we do another search, sorry. And now I receive 1.5 million. That's more like Loop Search. So here you can see a lot of books, articles, theses, and everything around. And you will have plenty of possibilities to the left to refine your search. As in many databases, you can refine by publication date, by material types. If you go further down, you can see that you can refine by subject, publication, publisher, language, location, collection, and so on. You will find both digital sources and printed sources in the list. And you will find the books or the articles available in different ways. There are a lot of different sources collected in the same view, so it will look a bit differently depending on the database. So here you can say it says Taylor and Francis, the next one says online access, and it could be in PDF, or it could be HTML or something like that. But it could also be, as we can see further down here, the fourth match, only link to the library catalog, which means this is a book in print. And here you can see that it's a link, but it's also information about where you can access it, that it's in the university library, and the green mark says that it's available. So you can visit the library and you can pick it up. The digital sources is of course a bit more interesting right now, when we're not supposed to be that much in the libraries. And the first one here, you can see if you choose to go on the link, then you will get more information about the match. And if you press on the, just going back again, on the link down here, it will take you to the full text. Looking here, you can see that you have the chapters by chapters where you can download it or read it immediately. Oops, no, it was difficult to view here.
Just type Loop Search.
Yes, I need to.
The link disappeared behind the share screen.
Yes.
Window.
Let's do it like this again. We're soon back in Loop Search again. And this suits me well because now I wanted to show you some other parts of Loop Search. Up in the green top, you can see here, that's the general search, and then you have the e-publications. And this is a place where you can look up if you're looking for a certain book or a certain journal to find out whether we have it or not. So if I click here, you can write in the same title again. And you can see it comes in the line here, and it brings me to the same book again.
It's slow.
It's slow. Okay. Yeah, now I came to the list instead. It's supposed to work, that it takes you to that book you're actually picking out. But this is a way to find out whether we have a title or not. The third option in Loop Search is the databases A to Z, where you can find out about the databases you have access to as a student at Lund University. Here you can search, or you can find a list of them in alphabetic order, or you can check by subject and find out what databases are available within a subject. Going like this, and you can choose environment, and you can see all the databases that are listed within this subject that you as a student have access to. You can do a search again, and if I just write something, database that I used before something, you can find it, and you will find information about it to the right. There are symbols that tells you that this resource is partly or fully indexed in Loop Search, which means that this database will be included when you do a general search in Loop Search. Missing this symbol, it means you need to visit this database to do a separate search otherwise. And then there is a locker, which means that it is only available for students and employees at Lund University. And of course, there are more information about the database, which you can get clicking on the little eye as well. Yes, I think that will be enough about Loop Search.
And we stop sharing the screen now. Yes, and it might be so that, for example, if you need something from a book you can't take home, that you need to copy or print something out. And of course you can do that at the libraries as well. In order to do it, you will need a printing account, or you have a printing account, but you need to connect money to it. And you can do it either by connecting a Master or Visa card, or by buying a prepaid voucher. And I will share our lub.edu.se again and show you where to find more information about it. Let's see. Sharing my screen now. Now we're on the starting page, and there's a link called Services and Support. And there's a copying, printing, and scanning header. And there's some information, and there's also a link to PaperCut. The copying and printing system is called PaperCut. So if you click there, you will find guides and all kinds of information. It's also quite common that the different libraries have detailed information about copying and scanning on their websites. So you might also be able to check out your library webpage. Yes, and another thing we wanted to stop and share now. Another thing we wanted to tell you about is the wireless network. There's wireless network in all buildings at Lund University, and there are two networks. The network you will probably be using is eduroam. Eduroam is a network used at many universities all over the world, and maybe you have access to eduroam on your home university already. In that case, you will be able to use the Lund University eduroam with that login. Otherwise, you just use your student account to log in to the network. And we'll be able to use it at other universities who have it. Yes, that was what we wanted to tell you now. And of course, you're always welcome to come by our desks, to email us, to call us, to chat with us, to find us on Facebook. Some of us are there as well. Now we maybe have some questions in the chat.
Yeah, so we have a few questions from students. We've had about 170 students attending, so that's really good. But Pauline is asking if books can be returned 24/7 with their LU access card, or if they have to stick to the opening hours.
That's different. There are some libraries you can enter with your card. There are some libraries you can't. Most of them you can't. But the university library, the big, like Harry Potter-like halls, they do have a little like book returning thingy at the side. If you like go to the main entrance and then around the house on the left, there you can put in your book in a little, what's it called? Post box.
Post box, sort of,
all day and all night.
You also talked about picking up books from the shelf. So we have a student asking if the pick up from the shelf option basically means that you can only read the book only on the premises of the library.
No, that only applies to books where it says reference copy only. The others you can take off the shelf, and you can go to the like lending machine or the library, and depending on which library you're in, and just take it home. Only the books which are reference books can't be taken home. All the others can. And you can, might also be good to know, you can borrow just as many books as you would like. You can loan 200 books if you feel like it.
That's a really ambitious student.
And you can also, those books that you can borrow, you can actually make this transport booking, so you can pick it up in any of the libraries, because we have libraries in both Malmö, Helsingborg and Lund, so wherever you live, it might be easier for you to pick it up somewhere, and then you can make in the loop cut, you can tell the system where to pick up the book.
And of course you can return it in all the 26 libraries as well.
Yes.
We will send it right.
We have Charlotte asking if the online access documents only can be reached when connected to the university Wi-Fi.
No. There are two ways to access them from home. Either you go into Loop Search and then a little thingy will appear asking you to log in, and then you log in with your student account, and everything you click on after that login will be able to reach. Or you use the subject guides. These are small like web pages the subject librarians do, and resources linked there are also linked in a way that asks you to log in, so they know that you're a part of the university. No, you don't need to be here.
So two important things with what you said there, I must say, because the first thing is that it's really important to use the right link. That's why we're talking about the subject guides and the link through Loop Search, because there is a prefix on the link that makes it possible for you to access and for the database to know that you're one of the students at Lund University.
You can just Google it.
And the other thing is that the network doesn't make it only possible. I mean, you can use any network. As long as you got internet, you can access the sources, but you need to use the right link, and you need to use your LU, your student account.
Yes. We have a question regarding the COVID-19 situation. So because of the COVID-19, I'm not in Sweden at the moment and don't have my LU card. So how can I use library resources?
Well, you don't need your LU card to access the digital sources, and so it won't be a problem for you to access anything in the digital collection. The printed collection will be a problem, I can say, because we are not sending the books. So, I mean, you don't really need your LU card, I would say, before you are in Lund.
And we have also a question about where we will upload the recorded version of the seminar, and it's going to be found on the Lund University International website, the tab for new students. So take a look at that, and it will be published within a few days. Actually, we will post on the International Desk Facebook page when it's accessible. So just keep an eye on that. It will take a few days for us to have it up there. Hedda is asking, how do we connect Visa, like the Visa card for printing? What is the link?
Yeah, and this we showed you on lub.lu.se. Do you remember? Shall I maybe share the screen again?
Yeah, do that.
No, Zoom is acting weird. There it is. So, and on lub.lu.se, I clicked Services and Support, and there's a link, Copying, Printing and Scanning. And if you then click on the paper cut link in the text, you will arrive at the paper cut page. As I told you, the copying system is called paper cut. And there you have all kinds of guides and information, FAQ and stuff like that. You will find everything you need. And of course, you can contact your library as well and ask. We will help you, of course. I stop sharing.
So a question perhaps not exactly linked to the libraries, but someone who's been a student at Lund University before is asking if they should register for a new LDU card or if they can use their previous one.
That depends on how long ago you were a student, maybe, if you still are in the system or not.
Yeah.
So just try to use it. If it doesn't work, you might need a new one. That would be my suggestion.
I guess as well, because you can make an LU card in some places, like University Library, the Faculty of Law Library, also the Faculty of Engineering, the LTH Study Center in Malmö as well, and in Helsingborg, where you can actually ask them, because I think they can look into the system and see if it's working or if it's not working, if it's too old.
Yeah. And I will do it this week before all the Swedish students come. They come next week.
Yes.
Then we queues for the LU card station.
Yes.
If you're already in Lund, that is.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and in Malmö there are two places as well where you can make an LU card, the medical faculty and also the Malmö Academy, Music Academy.
And in Helsingborg?
Yes, at the campus.
Yes. Johannes is asking, what about special access to journals? Does LoopCat show them, or do we have to check ourselves via the journal sites?
That differs as well, I must say, because it depends on the journals. I can only say, like for the Faculty of Law, for example, we need to have a special list with a lot of journals that you can access by the homepage, because they couldn't be included in LoopCat or LoopSearch by some reasons, but they are supposed to be included in LoopSearch and in e-publication. So most of them you should really find in LoopSearch, I would say.
Pauline is asking if it's crucial to return books at the same library you got it from, or can all books be returned at the main library as well? You've already mentioned that, but perhaps...
Yeah, you can return at whatever library of the 26 you want. It has to be a Lund University library, but which of them doesn't matter.
Rewan, how should I choose the library in the Select Your Home Library section while creating an account?
Yes, well, you actually belong to the library, to the faculty where you are studying. So studying at the law faculty, then you belong to the law library and so on. If you need any help, I think we have a web page actually on the Lund, lub.lu.se. You can search among the different subjects and you can see what library you should pick.
Catalina is asking if there are any workspaces in the libraries that students can use for such things as video calls or group work, like separate rooms that they could book.
Yeah, there are group rooms in many of the libraries. It might be a little different now during the COVID. I know at our libraries, Luxembourg Library, it's like limited how many people can sit in one room at one time. But there are like going to be a small signs saying in this room you're supposed to be 2 at most. So just go to your library and check it out. But there are group rooms at at many of them.
Are there also silent rooms
Yes,
Yes. Yeah.
at all libraries?
most
libraries.
And we have actually a few students asking what's the difference between Loop Search and LoopCat.
Well, you can say that LoopCat is the library catalog with most of the books, the printed collection. It's sort of, you could also find some ebooks, but it is mainly the printed collection and the ebooks. Loop Search, it is a search portal where you can search among all the databases and the printed collection and the digital collection. It's sort of everything in Loop Search, but LoopCat is the library catalog.
And which one you use depends a little on what you're looking for. If you have a printed course book you want to find, use LoopCat because you won't have 1.5 million results, but you will find what you're looking for in an easier way. But if you have an open search, then use Loop Search because it will show you articles and stuff as well.
Emily is asking if you again could explain how they can activate or register their LU cards to be library cards. Do they have to go to library in person and ask for that to happen? Or?
No,
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
It just it changed today.
Yes.
You just enter LoopCat. It's loopcat.lub.edu.se, and it's linked from lub.edu.se as well. And choose the register new account thing, and then you by yourself can choose which faculty library is your home library. Before today, you had to go to a library to tell them where you are, and it's because of COVID-19 as well. Because you shouldn't go anywhere if you don't need to.
So you will easily find the register link on the first page of LoopCat. And when you've entered, you need to just fill in your student account, and then your account, you will see your account and where you can change things. You might have different address today than you have about in 2 weeks, and then you can change your address.
So in some countries, it's quite common to have libraries that are open 24/7 for students to go in and study whenever they feel like it. So we have a question from Julian, if there are any libraries open to study like late in the afternoon or in the evening, and also if there's a library opening really early in the morning.
Yeah, we don't have any 24/7 library. We have some that usually are open, like 13-14 hours maybe, until 20 hours in the evening, and from 8 or so. But during this COVID-19, most libraries have reduced their opening hours. So just look at the opening hours page. If you go in and look at the opening hours via the lub.edu.se, we will have a list with all libraries, and just pick the one that opens first and then the one that closes last. Then in many faculties, you actually, even if you can't stay in the library when it's closing, you still can be in the house and the building, and can sit there on the study places there, so you don't have to go home.
And there are some libraries that will give the students of their own special access, I think.
So Anto is asking, when you send a document for printing, how long does it remain in the system?
I think it's until the next day, so 24 hours.
Okay. And once again, a question about the group rooms available at some libraries. Where can students book those group rooms? Is it online, or do they have to visit the libraries?
That's also different. Just ask your library. Some you have to book there, some you have to book in the reception desk outside the library, and some you can book from home. So just it depends.
Yeah. Many times you can phone as well.
Yeah.
So you don't need to visit to book. You can phone the reception or the library or whatever, and they can make a reservation for you.
And I guess that most of the libraries have information about their group rooms on their website as well. So you can even try that way.
So right now we don't have any more questions coming in from the students attending. So is there anything else you want to say before we finish the seminar?
Well, one thing, I don't think you should hesitate. Please come with your questions, and we are here for you to give you support and help you to find the material you need to help you to make references, whatever you need in your material search using treating.
Yes.
So
Especially,
come.
yeah, especially if you're a master student and writing your master thesis in the end, you can book a meeting with your subject librarian and really get help with your searches. Do that.